It was the 12th of May 2025 on a Monday afternoon. I was scrolling through Instagram Reels, just looking through, and I saw this one video, and it was of Spanian. And he was saying how he's opening up Spanian kebabs in Preston, Melbourne. And I was like, ooh, sick. But at the time, I had no one to go with, and most of my friends weren't going, since it was gonna be a school day, and so pretty much none of them could go. And I live like 2 hours train ride from Preston, so it is pretty far. So most of my friends couldn't go. There was only one other guy that could go, and this person that could go was a bit fishy. I didn't trust him, and he hung around with the same people that tried to mob me, and I'll put up the video right here. So frankly, I did not want to go with this guy, and every time I would confront him about hanging with these people, I'd be like, why the hell are you hanging with these people? They're bad. He'd be like, oh yeah bro, it's only because they've got a motorbike, it's only because they've got this, it's only because they've got that, it's only because they've got spins, it's only because they let me have weed. All of this bullshit. So I wasn't going to go with this person, and I definitely was not going to go alone. Let me give you some backstory. I am 15-year-old from Melbourne, Australia, as you guys know, and I don't really catch public transport. I catch buses sometimes, I catch the train very occasionally, but I don't catch public transport like the train by myself. I'd catch a bus by myself, maybe catch the train to like, I don't know, Dandenong, someplace, but other than that, your boy doesn't really take public transport, especially when I've got my BMX and a bunch of valuable things with me, like my microphone, like my iPhone, like my, other things. Not gonna deep dive, but y'all get the point. So I definitely was not gonna go 2 hours to Preston, where there would probably be a bunch of hoodlums, by myself. That just was not gonna happen. And it was like, I'd probably have to leave at like 3:30 p.m, which means by the time I hop on, the city loop, get to Flinders, hop on the Mernda line, bro, it would be fucking packed. And so it was looking like I was not going to be able to go. And I knew that if I went to this, it would make for an insane fucking video. A crazy video. So, after this, I was like, alright, I'm going to hit up the one and only, my dad. Now, bit of backstory on this. Me and my dad been talking for a while. I don't have the best relationship with him, but nowadays I've been speaking with him more, and we've been getting a lot closer, which is a good thing. And I hit up my dad. I go to his house and I show him the video. I'm like, would you maybe want to come with me? Because I knew at the time my dad watched a bit of Spanian. He was a big fan with him. I watch a little bit of his content. Like prior to watching this video, I'd only watched maybe 10 videos of Spanian's YouTube channel. 10 videos from his YouTube channel at max. So I wasn't really a big fan, but I knew, it's pretty sick. I've seen his videos where he travels around like Melbourne's hoods. I like his videos. His videos were cool. So showed this video to my dad, and my dad's like, mate, fuck yeah, I'm going. So we decide, yeah, we're gonna go. Now, the video I watched was just a video on Instagram of Spanian just saying, yeah, we're opening up in Preston. So I hadn't seen any other videos. So I was like, alright, yeah, we're gonna go. And we were like, yeah, we're gonna go really early. We're gonna go like 6 a.m. so we can obviously get there early and beat the crowd. And we were thinking, it's a kebab joint. Of course it's gonna be open at like 10 a.m. because what kebab joint wouldn't? All the kebab joints in my area open up really early. Like there's one that opens up at 12 in the afternoon, which is pretty early. I mean, kebab, that's like lunch, dinner. And so yeah, we were expecting it to be open early and then open into the night. We weren't expecting it to open later. So we didn't check anything, we didn't check any times, and then got a hair in my mouth. Then I messaged my other mate, the mate that I didn't want to go with, because I was like, yeah, that's sus. Okay, brightness on my monitor went dark. I messaged him and I'm like, yo, what time does the kebab joint open? Because I was wondering. And he's like 5:30. And I was like, 5:30? Fuck all. No way it opens at 5:30. I didn't think he was serious. So we head there. We go on the city loop, make it to Flinders, change off of Flinders Street, and then we get onto Mernda. And it's all chill. And there's one thing I'm gonna leave in the story. I did not bring my Mikey, and my dad never brings his Mikey. This was gonna be a very big problem very soon in the video. As we were on loop, we were on the city loop, we were chilling. Me and my dad sitting on city loop. We hop off, we get onto the Mernda track, and it's just, the train's fucking full of people. There was people coughing. I felt fucking disgusting because I was right next to this one goon that was literally coughing, and I was like, fuck this, dude, I'm gonna get sick. And I don't want to get sick, bro. I'm way too active to be sick, so I did not want to get sick. Luckily, I don't think I am sick. This is the next day. But we're sitting on Mernda train line, and we eventually get there. And I didn't have my BMX because my BMX is in maintenance, so I was on this very bad mountain bike. So I couldn't really film much of me riding because it was a mountain bike. I don't ride mountain bikes, and it was my sister's, so it wasn't even a good mountain bike. So I was not going to film any of that. But we make it to Bell Street, and luckily the train station is right next to the Spanian kebab joint. So we get there, and we see 3 people. Literally 3 people. Sure enough, because we were stupid, the kebab joint was in fact closed. And turns out that after checking Spanian's Instagram, he made a post saying it opens at 5:30. So because of me not checking, I literally just wasted 5 hours total riding on a train there and back. So that was bad. But soon after this, me and my dad were contemplating, do we want to wait here for 9 hours straight for the kebab joint to open in the middle of Preston with nothing to do? And we realized that it was only going to be 4 hours of train riding, 2 hours to get home, and then another 2 hours there. So we would have a total of 5 hours in total to do whatever we wanted to while we're at home. And I don't know about you, but 5 hours, I could have turned that into a pretty productive 5 hours. So I was like, hell yeah, let's catch the train back home, then we'll come back up here. Now, we get off of Mernda train line, we catch the Mernda train line back onto City Loop, and we're fine. And then something really, really bad happens. Some Metro police, the Metro train people, hop on our tram, and they're right next to us. And I'm shitting a brick. I'm like, fuck this, dude, because I'm 15. I could literally get fined if I don't have a Mikey. And I never ride around without a Mikey. I literally have a Mikey. I just forgot my wallet. I didn't bring my fucking wallet. So I was fucking tripping balls, man. I was freaking out. I knew my dad didn't have a Mikey. So I was like, yep, I'm gonna get fined. And sure enough, they wait a bit on the train. We get to like Oakley. I'm pretty sure we were passing the Oakley tram. Passing Oakley. And train people, sure enough, ask us for our tickets. And this is where it gets spicy. So, woman comes up to us. Hey, where are your train tickets? I don't respond. I'm not talking. Alright, I let my dad look for his. He's rummaging through his bag, and I knew fuck all he didn't have one. I knew, so I was like, what the fuck is my dad gonna do here? Then, somehow, my dad pulls out a fucking Mikey. And I was like, oh my gosh. Fucking, that literally saved us. But, the lady puts it in her little machine to see last time it was used, and the Mikey hadn't been used in over a year. So I knew it was wraps. And at this time, I was trying to look for a job. I still am looking for a job, looking for work. So I was shitting a brick. I was like, man, if I get fined, this could go on my record. This could be really bad. I was just fucking scared as hell. And anyway, she checks the Mikey. She's like, hasn't been used in over a year. My dad's like, oh man, I must have brought the wrong one. And after this, the lady goes on to me and she's like, how old are you? And I knew, I could have said I was 15. But there was this one time where I jaywalked in front of a cop car. They pulled me up, sirens on and everything, and I was 14 at the time, and they said if I was 15 they could have fined me for it. So I was thinking at that moment, and I was like, if I'm 15 I could be fined. Now this, I don't know how it really works. I don't know if I could have gotten fined anyway saying that I was 14, or could have gotten fined when I was 15. I don't know how the laws really work. I'm not a law student, but I said I was 14. So I just thought, hey, if I'm under 15 maybe they can't fine me. So I did say I was 14. And she asked me my age. I said 14. Then she goes, do you have a Mikey? I'm like, nope. Just shook my head no. And she said that we had to get off the station and get Mikey's and then get back on, or else we're gonna be looking at a $300 fine each. So that was not gonna be good. And I think the only reason they didn't fine us then and there was because I was with my dad, and because my dad had a Mikey, and my dad thinks the exact same thing. So after this, we're forced to get off the train, because I knew that if we stayed on the train, and so did my dad, that we were going to be fined. So we got off the train, we make it back through the city loop, and after this, I go home. My dad goes home. Dad goes for a nap. I go for a nap because I had no sleep, literally no sleep. I was on 2 energy drinks and that was it. I stayed up the whole night. I could not sleep the night prior because I was like, Spanian. Anyway, I messaged my dad at around 3 p.m. and I'm like, yo dad, you ready to go? And my dad sadly messages me back saying he does not feel like going after all the traveling. And I was thinking to myself, it's wraps. I can't film this vlog, and I didn't know what I was going to do because I'd already made a community post on my channel saying, shit's going to go down. So I knew my viewers would be expecting it. I knew I had a lot of friends that I hyped up that were going to be expecting the vlog. So I was just like, I'm not going to be able to film this. That's going to be it. And I got really sad. And after I messaged my dad, I was already on my bike nearly outside his house after, and then he says no. So I just kind of mindlessly ride around for a bit. After this, I go home and I go lay down in my bed, and I'm thinking I'm just gonna go back to sleep because I had no sleep. I had 1 hour sleep after my nap. I was feeling tired as fuck. I just felt fucking cooked. That's all. I felt fucking cooked. So I go into my bed, I go to sleep, and I message my dad, and I'm like, there's no way you can go. And he doesn't respond, so I'm just thinking, yep, the video is scrapped. I get a bit emotional, I start tearing up a bit, not because I wasn't going to be able to see Spanian. Before you say, hey, you shouldn't tear up, no one gets to see Spanian. I wasn't getting sad because of that. I was getting sad because I wanted to go with my dad. My mum even said she would go with me, but it wasn't the same. Because me and my dad didn't have the best bond in the past, didn't have the best relationship, and I really wanted to go with my dad. I really wanted to go. It was going to be a good bonding time. I was going to be able to see Spanian with him, and it was just going to be super fun. So I was excited to go with my dad. I wasn't getting sad because I wasn't going to be able to see Spanian. I was getting sad because I wasn't going to be able to see my dad. I wanted to spend time with my dad. So I start tearing up in my bed, and I'm thinking it's going to be like a night where I cry myself to sleep. Anyway, 30 minutes goes by. I don't get a single response to my dad, and that's when I try to call up my cousin. Now, I don't talk to my cousin, and quite frankly, he doesn't really like me. I don't know why, but I call up my cousin as just the last thing. I was like, it's the last thing I can do to actually, go out. And sure, it wasn't going to be like with my dad, but at least I was going to be able to go, okay? And my mum was feeling sick as well. She said she would go with me, but she was feeling sick, so I didn't want to drag my mum out. And I definitely wasn't going by myself. I call my cousin, it goes straight to voicemail. So I'm like, okay, that's not gonna work. I message one of my mates, Zach. He responds, but he was literally in Chadstone, and there was no way he was gonna be able to get on City Loop with me, so there was just no chance of him going either. And other than that, I had no friends that could go, because most of my friends were getting home from school. So I had 2 options: go to sleep or go with this really shady kid that I did not want to go, that hangs around my ops, and I did not want to go with this shady kid. So inevitably I was like, yep, the video is scrapped. Now, before y'all click away, this is not the end of the video. I'm just getting started. Okay, this is just the start. If you think that's wild, what I've just said, this is just the fucking start of this insane video. So don't click off yet. Half an hour goes by, and it was 4 o'clock at this time. Me and my dad were planning to leave at 3:30 so I could get there by 5:30, because it was a 2-hour train ride. So it's 4 o'clock. So I knew that even if my dad did respond to me now, that it was probably going to be a bit too late. And to top it all off, guess what? I lost one of my BMX gloves while I was mindlessly riding, because I had them in my pocket, because I took them off when I was putting on music, and I had them in my pocket and they fell off. Well, one of them fell out, sorry, not fell off. So that's a $50 pair of gloves gone. So that just fucking topped it all off. I mean, the day just turned to shit. But then something really wild happened. Randomly, out of nowhere, my mum's saying, "Hey, someone's outside." And then I'm still in bed, I'm not giving a fuck who's outside. And then my dad comes into my room and he's like, "Get up, we're going." My dad at 4 o'clock, hour later, after saying he doesn't want to go, randomly pops out of nowhere and is like, "Let's fucking go, we're going to see Spanian." And I get ready literally within like a minute, and we leave straight away. Get on the first train. I top up my Mikey this time, $30, even though it only costed like $5. And we dip on the city loop, and it was crowded, but nonetheless we get on the city loop. Then we get on Mernda line, and after a long ass train ride, me and my dad just playing Bloons TD4 on our phones. It was a pretty fun game. There was nothing else to do, and I had no videos to edit, so could literally do nothing. We get there. We get to Bell Street, and already it was pretty dark already, because it was like 5:40, 5:50. So it was pretty dark already, and I could already hear fucking bicycles revving, like dirt bikes. I could hear people. I just knew it was gonna be a fucking wild night from that onwards. Now let's hop right into the main part of the story. So after this, we get off the train and we get there, and man, I wasn't expecting there to be that many people. I was like maybe 400 people at max. We get there, and nonetheless, Spanian hadn't arrived yet. At least I don't think. I wasn't sure. We see Spanian. We're hearing people call out to him. We see him, and he's getting surrounded by this big crowd. Me and my dad just standing back, and I say to my dad, "Are we actually going to try to get photos, or are we just going to sit here?" My dad's like, "You've got a better chance of getting photos than me, buddy." He gives me his phone. I go in and I get a photo with Spanian. Now, sadly, this was on my dad's phone, so I did not get it on this phone, but I was recording on this phone, so I did get the actual frame. I'll play the video right here. Can I get a picture? So I did kind of get a photo with him on my phone. It was just on recording. Now, after I get a photo with him, I'm like just hype. I'm hype as hell. Now, I didn't get to try his kebab because there was so many people there. The fucking store would have run out of food, and I just didn't get to try it. So after this, get a photo, and right after the photo, these insane fireworks start going off. At least $20,000 in fireworks. It was like a minute straight, and it was fucking insane. After this happened, we got pizza, chilled out for a bit, then we left, went home, and the cops even showed up. Fire brigade showed up. It was a fucking wild night. But I managed to get home literally at like 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. We left at 4 p.m. Didn't get home till 10. It was such a long trip. But man, it was fucking wild. Wild. Anyway, I don't really have too much more to say for this video, but yeah, if you guys enjoyed the clips, if you guys enjoyed the premise of this video, make sure to leave me a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And this video was fucking wild to create, wild to do. It was fucking wild even seeing Spanian in person, man. And if I had to rate the trip on a 1 to 10 scale, I'd give it a fucking 10 any day. Give it a 10 any fucking day. Spanian was really nice. He let me get pictures with him. And I just give it a 10 out of 10. Now I'm pretty much gonna voice over the rest of the video here. So we had these dirt bikes pull up, just skidding their bikes. That was pretty cool. And my dad got a handshake with Spanian. That was pretty sick. And this $200,000 bike at least pulled up right next to me. That was cool. Then straight after that, this other dirt bike came up and literally revved the shit out of his bike. That was sick. Then the fire brigade and cops pulled up, I'm guessing for the fireworks, but overall it's just a mosh pit. That's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone. Yo guys, thank you very much for watching this video, and before I end this off here, I'm going to be plugging my Instagram. I'll be right up on the screen right here. Gonna be very active on Instagram, posting, every day hopefully. So if you want to go check that out, go ahead. It's gonna have personal stories, more events. So if you want to, get to know my content more personally, things like that, then check out the Insta. If not, that's totally fine. Peace out, guys.